If you were creating a template for a prototypical college athlete, you would combine pure ability, leadership, drive, character, and academic commitment. Joe Funaro was that prototypical college athlete. The program's first player to be named to the All-New England team as many as 4 times as the team shortstop, Joe was a 3-time team MVP and batting leader between 1992 and 1995, and twice led the Warriors to New England championships and berths in NCAA Division III national tournaments. As a senior, Joe was selected first-team All-America, the first shortstop in program history thus honored, and ECAC Player of the Year when he hit safely in the final 31 games of his career. It was a streak which equaled the 4th longest one to that point in Division III history. Joe's senior season was the only true injury-free one of his career. That year, he started all 40 games and led all Eastern players in 13 individual categories.
Hello, my name is Scott Smith. I am the athletic equipment manager and assistant baseball coach at Eastern Connecticut State University. Our baseball program has always been known for having quality shortstops as the backbone of our teams. Heading into the 1991 fall season, the coaching staff was in the unique situation of looking for someone to fill the shortstop position after the graduation of Todd Hennessy. Very early that fall, there was a freshman infielder from Hamden by the name of Joe Funaro. He was vertically challenged. He could also flat out play. He made the routine play, turned the double play, and had a strong arm with a quick release. He had range, could hit to all fields, could hit for power, and could run. In the eyes of the assistant coaches, the search for the next shortstop was over. After one game at the sub-varsity level, it was very apparent that Joe needed to play at the varsity level. He was that good. And that is where he stayed for the next 4 years, becoming one of the top all-around players in the history of the program. Coach Holowati always has a way to keep players grounded, and I think he particularly liked to remind Joe that he was just like everyone else. One of the ways he would do this was by giving Joe the nickname God. Joe really didn't like this at all, but the name stuck. One thing that Joe never did plan was his propensity for being, well, how can we best describe it? Accident prone. He would get hurt in some of the oddest ways possible. Most times it would happen while he was taking part in an activity other than baseball. Like this badminton shuttlecock, for instance. Badminton class, direct smash in the eye, torn retina. Other injuries occurred to the shoulder, elbow, hamstring, but Joe would do whatever he could to play. In the spring of 1995, Joe had his best year. He played in every game, ended his career with a school record 31-game hitting streak, was first-team All-America, New England Regional Tournament MVP, and ECAC Player of the Year. His performance led a very young team back to the national tournament. That year, he was also selected by the Florida Marlins in the Major League Baseball draft, and just as importantly, graduated in 4 years. The best word I can use to describe Joe Funaro would be respect. From the day he set foot on campus, Joe had the respect of his teammates, the coaching staff, and opposing players and coaches for the way he carried himself on and off the field. Joe is the blueprint for a collegiate student athlete. I'm sure that his 2 children, Jace and Katie, both are learning the same values that have made their father a Hall of Fame person. And hopefully, he can make it to the podium this afternoon without getting injured.
Coach Jones and I went down to Hamden, a night game, to watch Joe, and I watched infield practice, and I told Coach Jones we can go now. He'll start for us next year.
Joe just had what I call the it factor in terms of He combined mental toughness and physical toughness along with his athletic ability, and I would put him in the top 5 of athletes I've ever coached at Notre Dame. Very confident player, very confident young man, but never presented himself as cocky, never touted his own talents, never talked about what he could do, always was a team player. And I think that combination is rare, that a kid could be so confident and not be cocky.
Joe had a flair about himself that brought about everybody else around him better, and Joe was that kind of ball player. He made people around him better by his glove, by his arm, and by his spunkiness at bat, and by running the bases. He just did everything that helped the team be better and set the example.
Joe Funaro is a great person all the way around. He's just one of these people that you can count on in any circumstance, not just athletically. There's somebody that you could call and ask for a favor and help. He would help you out any way he could.
Joe and I are personal friends now, and I have a lot of respect for him and his family, and Joe is just a super ball player for us.
It is indeed my honor and privilege to present Joseph J. Funaro for induction into the Eastern Connecticut State University E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame.